teachers, and parents, thank you for coming out. Special thanks to Pastor Sutton and Gail Sutton for inviting us into their church today. My name, of course, is Darlene McCoy, Harper Archer's graduation coach. The topic of conversation today is leadership and life lessons. We need to figure out what path we're going to take. Will we make better decisions? And will you take responsibility for your actions? Today, we are here to give you some of those choices. So now I would like to introduce Courtney Johnson, one of our 8th grade students at Harper Archer. She will come up and announce all the presenters for today. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Courtney Johnson, and I'll be introducing all the speakers for today. Please give all the speakers a round of applause. First, I'd like to welcome Mr. Andre Hanna from Alfonso Dawson Mortuary.
I would like to start off by thanking Ms. McCoy and the Harper Archer Middle School for inviting the Alfonso Dawson Mortuary to such an event. I'd like to just say thank you on behalf of myself and the president of Alfonso Dawson Mortuary, Mrs. Phoebe Dawson. Just want to say thank you for inviting us to such an event. I first want to start off by just posing a question to the kids. What do you want to be when you grow up? That's a question I'm going to pose to everybody. And we can, by a show of hands, we can answer. What do you want to be when you grow up? An artist. Okay. Football player? Okay. What we got right here? I can't hear you. Hold on. We're going to be quiet and allow everybody to answer. Everybody raise their hand. We're going to be quiet and allow them to give that answer. Okay? What did you say, buddy?
I want to be adopted.
Adopted? Okay. Entrepreneur? Okay. Cosmetologist? Okay, what you got? An actress? Okay, what you want to be, buddy? Yeah. You say what now? An artist and an engineer. Okay, all right. What you want? Okay, basketball coordinator. Say anybody else? Musician? Video game designer. Okay. All right, those are all great answers. All great answers. And something I noticed a young man over here started off, he gave me 2 answers. There's nothing wrong with giving 2 answers when somebody asks you what you want to be when you grow up. There's nothing wrong with saying I want to be this and this. Okay? So that's good. Okay. So, how many of us watch shows like CSI, Bones, shows where they have the forensic shows, where they have bodies, they have things, they have incidents where you see bodies come out of the cooler, you see incidents where they try to figure out where people got shot. You've seen those? Y'all like those shows? What do y'all like about those shows? They're interesting? What's so interesting about it? Find out who killed him? Okay. So what's so interesting about finding out who killed him? So you can put him in jail? Okay, so let me ask you this. How many of us have heard of the word autopsy before? What is autopsy? Anybody can tell me what autopsy is? What's autopsy? The cause of death? That's correct. That's absolutely right. Autopsies are done when actually someone is killed or someone dies and they don't know the actual cause of death. So that's why they do the autopsy. So I'm the person who puts the person back after the autopsy. I put them back together. Does anyone know what an autopsy includes? Okay. You stated the purpose of the autopsy is to determine the cause of death, but an autopsy is actually when they actually cut the entire body open. Okay? They cut the entire body open to actually determine the cause of death and why a person died. So I'm the person who puts the person back together after the autopsy has been done. Okay? How many of us have been to funerals before? You've been to funerals before. You've seen the casket before. You've seen people. You've heard of people who got killed before. You've heard of people your age who have gotten killed before, and you went to funerals before. So I'm the person who actually prepares the person after the autopsy and prepares them for the funeral and put them in the casket. Okay? You got a question? Huh? No, there's no person in there. No person in there. But I'm the person who prepares after the autopsy and prepare you to put you inside of the casket. Okay? Now let me tell you a little bit about how I do that. So, basically how that's done, basically I'm just going to kind of show you all a brief description of what I do. Does anybody know what this is? No, this is actually not a body bag. This is actually my personal protective equipment that I have to wear. This is actually the personal protective equipment that I have to wear once I actually go in and complete the autopsy. Okay? Does anybody know what this is? And I'm giving you a hint. Okay? It's not Pepto-Bismol. Does anybody know what this is? Embalming fluid. That's correct. That's correct. It looks like Pepto-Bismol though. But it's actually not. It's actually embalming fluid. This is actually what I have to utilize in order to embalm the body. Okay? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap it up very short, but I just want to show you all a few brief things of what I have to do in order to complete that process. Does anybody know what this is? This is a scalpel. I work around very sharp instruments. Okay? So I have to be very careful, very cautious of what I'm doing at all times. Okay? These are a few instruments that I have to utilize when I go to complete the autopsy, that I have to go inside of the body. These are some of the instruments that I have to use to go inside. These are called angular forceps. Angular forceps. Okay? So basically I wanted to kind of briefly tell you all basically the process of what I do and why I do it. Because of course today we're here to learn about life lessons. And we want you all to learn whatever lessons you need before this happens. Okay? I bury people from all ages. All ages. If you can think of it, you can name it, I've seen it, I've done it. Okay? So what we're trying to prevent is we're trying to prevent you all from being in that situation and trying to get you to think proactively and make better decisions so that we won't have to be in this situation with you. Okay? Do we have any brief questions? Quick question. No, I'm not scared at all. Because the definition of death is no life. Meaning that it cannot move. That's the definition of death, okay? Okay. All right. Okay, so, real quick. Do they flinch? No, ma'am. The definition of death is no life, meaning that it cannot move. Once something is dead, it cannot move, no matter what it is, whether it's a bird, a dog, or anything. So I want to thank you all for inviting us out, and this has been my time.
I'd like to welcome Chief Ronald Applin from Atlanta Police Department.
Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing? Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, right? I'm the Chief of Police for the Atlanta Public Schools, the schools that you go to. And the thing that's ironic about being the Chief of Atlanta Public Schools is I'm a product of Atlanta Public Schools. I graduated from Margaret Fay Elementary a long, long time ago. How many of you went to Margaret Fay? I also went to Adamsville for a year or two. Anybody go to Adamsville Elementary? I left Margaret Fay, I went to Harper High School Used to be a high school. Yeah. We were the Mighty Trojans. I also sang in this church choir when I was in the 3rd grade. I did. And what I want you to understand is that while I'm not in your shoes today, I've been there and done that. I've come full circle. Did I imagine ever being a chief of police at Atlanta Public Schools? No. But I always imagined being something better than what I was as I went through my life. So there's a few things I want to say to you today. And I know you hear it all the time. People are always telling you, do the right thing. Do what your parents tell you to do. Do this. Do that. Nobody lives in your shoes. Everybody seems to think they have an answer to your problems. Right? They're always telling you, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. But they don't go home with you. Right? They don't go home with you. They're not at your house. They don't see some of the challenges you face. But I'm going to tell you right now, I do understand from my life experiences some of the challenges that you face. And I'm here today to stand and tell you that you can rise above those challenges. And there are a lot of them. And I won't take that away from what you have to deal with. So I'm not going to make it that simple. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like it's very easy, because it's not. Life is hard. There are times when it's easy. It's like a roller coaster ride. How many of you been on the Batman ride at Six Flags, right? There's some parts of it that's real smooth, no big deal, but then it starts twisting and turning. Life is like that. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. It is not easy. But there are 3 things I want to say to you today that I think you need to think about. I want you to think about. And this is from my life experience. Again, I'm not living in your shoes, so I understand. I can't sit here and tell you what you have to deal with and how to deal with that specifically. But I can tell you that I've been there. I understand what you're dealing with. But you have to be able to fight through some of the challenges that you face in order to be successful. I saw a lot of hands up saying some of the things they wanted to be. A Navy SEAL, a doctor. There's some things you have to do to get there. And I would say some of those things would be, now if I had to do it all over again, some things I would do, I would listen to my parents. I would definitely listen to my parents. I would also be more accepting of people in my life, because I did things where I only dealt with certain people. How many of y'all like that? Only deal with certain people. Well, there's a lot of folks that can have an impact on your life, positive impact on your life, that we box out sometimes, or that we push out sometimes. I would have done that differently. The other thing I would have done was embrace my walk with Christ a lot sooner. All right, I think I can talk a little bit about that. I'm in a church, right? I can do that, right? Here. So I'm not going to preach to you, but those are 3 things I would do differently. My mom prayed for me all the time. She died last year in September. It was the most challenging event of my life. It wasn't more the fact that she died, it was what she went through before she died. I got a chance to walk with her through all the stuff that she went through. But as I did, I sat down and I thought about all the sacrifices that my mom made for me in order for me to be where I am today. If it were not for her, if it were not for my dad, I wouldn't be here today. None of you would be here today. See, I had a lot of options. I could have sold drugs. I could have been a pimp. I could have robbed people. I could have done a whole bunch of things that were just not right in order to survive. I had best friends who are in jail today. I had friends who sold drugs. I had friends who were in gangs. But I decided that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to be. And if it were not for my parents who prayed for me, who told me things and warned me about things, because I knew it all. Because you know it all, right? Y'all know everything. Parents can't tell you nothing. Well, my mom told me a lot of stuff that came to fruition, that came true. And I wish I had listened to it. So that's one thing I would do. I would listen to my parents. There are going to be a lot of people that come in and out of your life. A lot of people that are going to come in and out of your life. Some are going to be right there with you the entire time. You have friends. I have friends today who I was friends with when I was in elementary school. But those people got to be a positive impact on your life. That's the key part of that, folks. They have to have a positive impact on your life. You can't deal with negative folks. Maybe you can change them. Maybe you can help them. And if they change, that's great. But if they're not giving you anything positive, any positive feedback, if they're not stopping you from getting in trouble, if they're not telling you, hey, you shouldn't do that, you don't need to be there. They don't need to be your friend. If they're convincing you that you need to rob, you need to steal, you need to sell drugs, you need to use drugs, if they're telling you to do that, they don't need to be in your life. Because guess what? You can't be a doctor if you're using drugs. You can't be a doctor if you're selling drugs. Some things my mom told me. And if I had to do it over again, a long, long time ago, I would embrace my walk with Christ. I would have. I experienced so many challenges in my life and didn't understand why. Why am I going through this? When I was in the second grade, we lost our house. We lived in Adamsville. How many of y'all live in Adamsville? Lived in a house in Adamsville. I remember coming home from school one day and all of our furniture out in front of the house. And for a month, I didn't go to school. We went to Rome, Georgia. We went back and forth for a month. A month, I didn't go to school. Came back to school was the most difficult time. I just couldn't. It was just hard to adjust. But I think about that challenge, and I think about all the other challenges I faced in my life. You know, my friends trying to get me to sell drugs. My friends trying to get me to use drugs. My friends trying to get me to drink alcohol. My friends wanted to go rob somebody. My friends want me to go with them to beat somebody up. You know, all this stuff. I think about all these challenges I faced in my life, and I think about why am I given these challenges. Now, I didn't do right all the time. Don't get me wrong. I was never perfect. I'm not perfect today. And no one can tell you that. I made mistakes. But God gives us an opportunity to make those mistakes so we can change. Each one of you have an opportunity right now, today, tomorrow. You're given so many chances. You deal with a lot of stuff, yes. You deal with a lot of issues, yes. You make mistakes, yes you do. But you're forgiven for a lot of them. How many times do you think that's going to happen? How many times do you think you're going to be forgiven for those mistakes? At some point, you have to decide what you're going to do. At some point, you got to decide, which way am I going to go? So I used to say a long time ago, God, why are you putting me through this? Now I say, God, thank you for putting me through this. Because I know all it's going to do is make me stronger. So when I face these challenges and when I deal with these challenges appropriately, it's going to make me stronger. Those are the things that put me where I am today. Now, you don't have to be the chief of police. You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to be a doctor. Whatever it is you decide to do, as long as it is a positive influence on your community. Don't get me wrong, guys and girls. Young ladies, young men, don't get me wrong. I understand. Some of you are dealing with stuff that's unimaginable. Some of you are not. You're going to deal with things that's going to be challenging. You're going to be faced with decisions to make that can impact your life. You have to be ready to make the right decision. Listen to your parents. Be more accepting of people in your life. And if you don't do anything else, God's sovereignty does not excuse man's ability. You have the ability to be successful. Each and every one of you. I believe that. I trust that. I know that. Embrace your walk with Christ. If you have the opportunity, embrace your walk with Christ. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Okay. Hey, listen. Before I start, I want to commend each and every one of you all for two things. Number one, for allowing me to come every day to serve you as being your resource officer. It's a pleasure. Even though I know we battle, I appreciate you all. Number two, I want to commend you on how well you all are sitting in here and listening. Now, really thank you. With that, when Ms. McCoy asked me to come and speak to you all, she wanted me to speak to you all about something that was very important. And when I saw the casket, I kind of understood why she wanted me to talk about guns and how gun violence plays a part in our community, especially here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you would, guys, I promise you, I don't lie to you, I'll be very brief, but I need for you to listen. I need for you to listen, not for you, but I need for you to listen for the person that's next to you, okay? Just by show of hands, how many of you all know somebody that owns a gun? Okay. Hands down. How many of you all, mom, dad, cousin, uncle, have a gun in their house? Last but not least, how many of you all been with someone that has shot a gun? Okay. Now, hands down. Guys, I just went back to 2010 and I also did stats on 2017, but let me share something with you. 31,076. That's how many homicides and suicides and unintentional shootings occurred in the United States from 2010, just up to 2010, that year. Watch this. 85 deaths occur each day in the United States. I know, now forget you're in the house of the Lord now. 85, that's 85. Every time, let's do this. Follow me, we're going to count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stop. 7, stop. Every 7 seconds, someone is dying in America by a handgun. A child, an adult, intentionally or unintentionally. You know, the Iraq War, they calculated over 4,000 Americans lost their lives. Within a year in America, children and adults are losing their lives by handguns. That's just a fact, guys. Now, how it represents or how it relates to you all. 18 children and young adults under the age of 24 are being murdered in the United States. But when you do that, you guys know how a pie looks? And you know how you can cut that pie and it's a half. You know how you can cut that pie and it's a third. Imagine a third of that pie gone. That's how many deaths occurred in the United States. And each one of you guys are a part of it, or could possibly be a part of that if we don't change the way that we do things. The reason why I say that, 610 people were accidentally murdered or injured by a handgun. Each one of you all had your hands up and you say, yeah, I know somebody that has a handgun. Let me tell you, when I was a child, I went down to a friend's house. We call him Lil BB. I went down to BB's house. BB, mom and dad wasn't at home. But BB had maybe about 6 of us in the house. We were just around there playing electric football, just playing in the house. BB went and got a gun. He grabbed his gun and he pointed it at us. As you all know, I ducked on the ground. BB talking about, it's not loaded, it's not loaded. I got on the ground because I'll be honest with you, I was scared. Okay? Next thing you know, BB pulled the trigger. Pow! That bullet went out the window and across the street. It hit a car that was parked. But my thing is, BB wasn't intending to shoot the gun to kill me. But if he did, I wouldn't be here today because I would have been dead because of unintentionally playing with guns. Last thing, guys, and I'm going to let you go. I guess you all say, well, Hughley, you talked about stats all over America. How about here? Here you go. Right here in Georgia, I pulled the stats. Right here in Georgia, within the last 48 hours, right here we have 5 kids that just died. That's really what they did is said 48 hours, but it's really the last 24. We had 5 children to die. We had 5 accidental deaths that occurred by the use of handguns. The ages that you all are affected is 0 to 11. That number is 531 just here in the state of Georgia. That's from January to August. Between the ages of 12 to 17, 2,324. And out of that, in unintentional shooting, 1,477. If I want to leave anything with you all today, Harper Archer, my little brothers and sisters, I want to make sure that you all do not be a number. Do not be a number. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Before I get started, I need everyone to sit up. This program that we're having here today, it is very near and dear to me. What you see before you all is something I've experienced twice in my professional career of having to attend a student's funeral. About 2 years ago, I had a student by the name of Kente Roberts. Got involved, got his hands on a gun, and ended up doing something with the gun, playing around with it, and took his own life at 13 years old. That sticks with me every day. Because I see so many Kentes here that have the potential. Kente was probably one of the smartest kids who I ever encountered in my career. And to see Kente laying in a casket or just getting a phone call that he had passed away, is no longer here, is disappointing. And this year will be Kente Roberts' senior year of high school. And so he has a twin sister by the name of Kiara who deals with his death daily. He has a little brother by the name of Caleb who deals with his death daily. He has parents that are still 3 or 4 years away, 2 years away, dealing with the death of Kente. I watch you all. I see some of the things that you all are watching. Some of the videos, and you all know it, the Pull Up with the Stick and those songs. Those things right there, yeah, the music is, the lyrics are not something that I feel is appropriate, but that's a lifestyle that some of you all see every day and it's not your fault. We're here, we want to prevent you all from getting here before it's your time, because one day we all have to go. But I don't like the fact that I'm seeing too many of my young students and others around the country, you're leaving here way too soon. My uncle told me something about 10 years ago, and it always stuck with me. I didn't really understand what it meant, but now I do. There's 2 things, and the young man right here, I'm talking, and you're not. There's 2 things that, well, there's one thing that we have control of. And you're born, and you die. But when you have a tombstone, there's a dash right there from the year you were born to the year you pass. You control what's in the middle. So everything that you do in the middle is up to you. It's too many of us ending up right here. We laugh at some of these, what we just saw here, but those are real stories. And I hope that something that you take away from here today, that you're able to go back and apply this. Because I know some of you all, and I'm going to just be honest with some of you all are walking around like you're fake gang members and you're not. Some of you, and I'm just being real. Because you're looking at somebody, as a 7th grader in Pensacola, Florida, I became a part of a gang. And I saw some things and did some things that I'm not proud of, and I'm not going to share with you today. But when I go back home, just last year, I celebrated my 20-year class reunion. And when we all asked, everybody actually, told what they were doing in life, and I told them what I do every day to make a living, they laughed. How are you a principal and you did this, you did that? Well, we heard Chief Appler mention earlier, if it wasn't for the man upstairs, I might not be standing here. If it wasn't for my grandparents, I may not be here. And I grew up like most of you all. I didn't grow up with my dad. My dad went around, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse for you. That's no reason you can't make it. So we're going to leave you with a charge here today. Shortly, it's something you're going to have to drop off. But you got to be committed to something. When I say committed to something, we're not talking about being committed to 21 Savage. We're not talking about being committed to, being a part of a gang. We want you to commit to something that's going to help take you beyond Harper Archer, beyond high school, beyond college. But I hope that as you leave here today, it's something that you can take away, because I don't like this. I don't like getting a call, such and such is no longer here. That's not a good feeling. And I know I'm not your parents, and your teachers are not your parents, but believe it or not, things that happen to you all, it affects us all. I've been in Harper Archer, this is my 3rd year. And there was a student just last year that was a former student of Harper Archer that was murdered at Wendy's. That hurts. Since coming to Harper Archer, again, starting my 3rd year, there's been over about 30, 40 kids that I know of that have been arrested multiple times. When I talk to you all about you control what's in the middle, you control that. It's all about decisions. And your decisions are like elevators. They can take you up, or they can most certainly take you down. But it's definitely up to you. So I'm going to close out, but I just want to tell all of y'all, I love you.
Chief Appler, Principal Stewart, thank you all. I want to say this, but I'm going to be brief. Thank you, Phoebe, Dawson Mortimer. I have stood here hundreds of times and said the last words over not just old folks, but children, young people, young adults, your age. In the same spot, I appreciate and eulogize Bankroll Fresh. He laid right here. I eulogize Shawty Lowe right here. Bankroll was killed at the studio. Shawty Lowe was in a car accident. Actually, I have the last say so over anyone who lies here. And from what I heard, this afternoon is a challenge. I have preached so many games, Crips and Bloods, funerals. I had the last say so. The earth to earth, the ashes to ashes, the dust to dust. And watch parents cry. The challenge is it's hard because it could be you. Life is so uncertain. There's no guarantee that you're going to grow up to be grown, that you're going to live to be 21. Death claims babies, young adults as well as old. And it seems like it's more young that's dying. And I'm having to stand in the same spot and watch the parents and loved ones cry. Then I have to take them out to the cemetery. Phoebe would come and escort the casket out. Somebody asked, is there anybody in this casket? No, but it could be. Life is not promised. And I want to thank people like Ms. McCoy, all of our instructors, so maybe up there in the balconies. Coach, thank you. And you will never find a principal like this one. That's why we've been trying to hang on to it. We've tried to hold on to it. But some people don't care about you. And let me tell you something else about life, and I'm done. Everybody on Facebook is not your friend. You will find out sooner or later that they'll smile in your face and talk about you behind your back. So as you take this oath of commitment, do me a favor. Stand up and give these teachers, give this principal, give these officers, give our chief a big round of applause. Come on, we can do a little bit better than that. Come on. Courtney, awesome job. It's a handicapped van that's blocking someone. On which side? On this side, it's a van. Someone's blocking the van on this side. I want to thank our deacons to give them a hand. My God.
And discuss with you all. One is the commitment letter that all the kids have already received. Basically, the commitment letter are basically bad things that you have going on now that you want to get rid of. Basically to prevent you from being in this situation that you all have heard today. You all seen the video, you all seen the casket. There are many things that I'm pretty sure that there are things that you all want to get rid of to prevent you from being in that situation. So what you all were to do was to list 3 things on that commitment letter, basically things that are going to prevent you from being in that situation. So what we're going to do very shortly is we're going to place those commitments inside of the casket. Okay? So basically, we're going to bury it. Once you put anything in the casket, what you do when you put it in the casket? Bury it. So That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to bury all of those bad names that you want to get rid of. Okay.
Also, I'm Phoebe Dawson, CEO of Alfonso Dawson Mortuary, and I want to say that we're just glad to be a part of this very special and meaningful day. We have wristbands for you. As you leave, we want to give you all a wristband, and it's because we are family. We have been in the neighborhood for 52 years, and we're concerned about you. We're concerned about everything that happens in this neighborhood and our community. So you get your wristband as you leave out. Also, Ms. McCoy had us to do a special booklet for you. This is a keepsake book. When you go home, we want you to get with your parents or guardians, siblings, for you to understand that this book will help guide you along the way. There's a right way and there's a wrong way, and we want you to do everything the right way. In this booklet that you will keep, it has a place for you to list your goals in life, the timetable to achieve the goals. We also want you to list your heroes, the positive influences on your life. Think about those people that are for you and let them know that you appreciate them. There's also a page for you to list the colleges that you would like to attend. Get with your parent and say, what college should I attend? Put it in writing. When you put things in writing, you speak positiveness and you will do positive things. And the other part that I like is what can I do to better myself starting now, and the reasons why I want to better myself. On the back, there's a place for you to sign your name as a commitment to doing the right thing, and have your parent to sign with you. Okay, you can get these on the way out.
But now wait a minute. I'm talking about
Tough. Gotta say, it's tough. Just told Ms. McCoy, still sitting there, reminiscing about the young man I told you about earlier, Kente. As I said earlier, I just hope that there's something that you all can take away so we don't end up here before our time. I appreciate you all's attention, but I definitely want to make sure we give credit where credit's due. I got a couple people want to shout out. First, we want to thank Pastor and First Lady Sutton that they would stand for always, anytime we call and ask, they've never said no. And I remember the first conversation I had with Reverend Sutton when I met him. You know, Mr. Stewart, whatever y'all need, we got you. And so I just want to say thank you to Pastor Sutton and First Lady and to the congregation at Jackson Memorial Baptist Church. Also, Miss Sonia Stewart, where is she? She was somewhere walking around. If you stand, Miss Stewart, stand in the back. Give her a round of applause. Helping to facilitate this program. Also, to the Dawson Funeral Home, we definitely appreciate you. Let's give a big round of applause for them. Cannot forget two people who helped us. We did a program similar to this a few years ago back in Michigan. Definitely got to give credit to Miss McCoy and Miss Bailey. And to Chief Allen and Officer Hewlett. Let's give it up for them as well. We appreciate, and next we want to say students, we appreciate you. Give it up for yourself. I gotta say, you all every time we come always impress me. So I don't know if we need to pick the church up and move across the street so we can continue to be impressed from now through May. But I definitely appreciate all of you all's commitment to being here and paying attention. So that's huge. Bring up Ms. McCoy. I think you're coming up next. I'm off the program.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I didn't know how this was going to plan out, but I think we did pretty good. What you guys think? I'm glad we did this today because I want to make sure everybody got the message, because life is short. We don't know when that day is coming. So we want to make sure we do our best while we're here on earth. We don't want to wind up down there in a casket too soon, like Mr. Stewart said, okay? So stay focused. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And what's going to happen now, we're going to dismiss. We're going to start over here. So follow Ms. Saunders' lead over here. But on your way out, we're going to have you guys drop your commitment letters in the casket, take it all the way down here, and you're going to be given your booklet and your wristband on the way out the door. Okay? Thank you so much for coming. Give yourself a hand. So just stay seated, and Ms. Saunders will help guide you guys out.